Good evening, I'm Adrienne Arsenault. Andrew is away tonight. After months of pressure, Ontario announces paid sick leave.
This is a game changer, and this will save lives.
How it works, the criticism that it's not enough, and what it means for other provinces facing the call to pony up. Also tonight,
it was an extremely painful betrayal.
His wife was assaulted by a fellow soldier. Then senior military members wrote her attacker character references for his trial.
We're in a culture that allows people to tolerate sexual misconduct.
A CBC News exclusive. Plus, questions, scrutiny, held checks.
What I'm experiencing here is nothing than racism.
The experience of banking while black. And Hayley Wickenheiser, Olympic champion, hockey coach, med student.
Ready to go do rounds?
Her message for the IOC as they push to hold this summer's Olympics.
My job is to do what's right for the athletes.
This is The National. Canada's third wave of COVID-19 is at a crossroad. For about a week, in a clear trend, the number of new daily cases has slowly declined, though not in every province. But at the same time, hospitals and ICU wards across this country grow steadily more crowded. Alberta's surge so steep it's limiting many surgeries. In Ontario, hard-hit hospitals can now move recovering patients to long-term care homes, even as a new report outlines continuing failures there. But today, after months of pressure, another step to help slow the spread. The province introduced 3 days of sick leave. Katie Nicholson shows us how far the long-awaited move goes and what it could mean for other provinces under pressure to provide a program.
In the run of a shift, Brandon Deschamps comes into contact with hundreds of people.
I'd be sick. I'd have to stay home. I wouldn't be getting any money coming in. There'd be some worry as to how I was going to feed myself, help out some of the people that I love.
Today, that changed. Buckling under months of criticism, the Ford government introduced a paid sick leave plan that will run into September.
Employers will be reimbursed for what they pay out, up to $200 a day for 3 days.
That's in addition to yesterday's pledge to top up the federal sick benefit by $500 a week.
This is a game changer, and this will save lives.
That's up for debate, says this policy researcher.
3 days is not nothing, but with 10 days required for self-isolation, back paid federal benefits that require a pretty heavy burden to actually access, it's not nothing, but it really is. It's a stopgap fix for now.
Anyone sick longer than 3 days would need to use the federal sickness benefit. Critics say that benefit forces people to jump administrative hurdles, pays too little, and takes too long to kick in. It's one of the reasons provinces have felt the heat to come up with something better. BC's NDP Premier yesterday.
We've gone back to the shelf and taken the programs that we were working on here in British Columbia, and we're trying to get those up to speed to fill the gaps at the federal level.
Currently, only 2 other provinces have legislated sick days. PEI has 3, Quebec 2. Ontario's move might pressure others to follow suit and also introduce pressure to keep it going.
I think it should be permanent. I think that, again, when it comes to health and safety, you don't want to be spreading your germs. Keep them at home for as long as you can.
But for now, 3 days paid sick leave will give some pandemic peace of mind. Katie Nicholson, CBC News, Toronto.
Alberta reported 1,839 new cases today. It has led the country in new cases per capita for weeks now. And as always, sooner or later, some of those people who test positive take a turn for the worse. At first, COVID patients in Alberta's ICUs declined from record highs in the winter, but they started to rise again in mid-March, gradual at first, but over the past week, a sudden surge of 40%. Alberta's ICUs are now approaching those record highs again. Pressure is already forcing hospitals in parts of Alberta to delay 30% of surgeries in the coming weeks. And Aaron Collins explains doctors are preparing for much worse.
Alberta's hospitals are filling up as ICU cases continue to stack up. Some surgeries now being delayed just to make space. And doctors say they're being prepped to make some impossible choices.
If you're in a situation where you have 5 COVID patients who need a respirator and there's only 3 respirators, how do you choose? That's what this triage protocol is set up to do.
The Premier said weeks ago that this could happen. The government's own projections were for 20,000 active cases in Alberta, a number that's now been surpassed.
There is pressure now, and that pressure will grow over the next 2 to 3 weeks based on the current number of active cases. We as Albertans need to pull together.
Meanwhile, Albertans can still come together for a pint with friends even as new COVID cases near record highs. Well, the government says it will consider some targeted restrictions in hotspots. So far, no sign that last call is approaching for patios in the province.
There's, I think, a false idea out there that we can just, that quote-unquote lockdowns stop viral spread and that they can be effective in every instance. That's not the case.
The Premier says the healthcare system can handle the coming strain, but some healthcare workers aren't so sure.
There is a limited number of ventilators, beds, and human resources to look after these people. And if our third wave looks like Ontario's third wave, it's going to be really scary.
You're not painting a very nice picture.
I wish I could wave my magic wand and make it all better, but I haven't found it yet.
About 1 in 10 COVID tests come back positive in Alberta these days. Some of those people will end up in crowded hospitals, ratcheting up the pressure here on the province's front line. Aaron Collins, CBC News, Calgary.
In Ontario, hospitals can now alleviate crowding by moving some patients to long-term care homes even without their consent, if necessary.
This would be done in only the most urgent of situations, when a hospital is at risk of becoming overwhelmed.
So this policy lands just as a damning new report lays out Ontario's failure to manage the deadly crisis in those long-term care homes. Ellen Morrow has details on how some of those failures still persist, as does the heartbreak of loved ones caring for vulnerable residents.
I feel like I'm failing her. I feel like I'm failing her, and I'm trying my best. I'm not a medical professional.
But David Witta has had little choice but to become one.
I got you. I'll always protect you, okay?
Chronic short staffing in long-term care, he says, puts his mother Thelma at risk.
I have to make sure that I'm there every single day for my mother at this point in time.
Understaffing just one failure outlined in today's report. The pandemic's deadly toll in long-term care homes exacerbated, it says, by systemic shortcomings and deliberate decisions.
We have a history of issues not being addressed in a timely way.
Poor infection control and too many residents in a room allowed COVID to tear through homes, the report said. It also found the government of Premier Doug Ford, who once promised an iron ring around long-term care, was slow to act. And its pre-pandemic decision to stop proactive inspections of homes misguided.
The responsibility to stand and defend and to change this system, absolutely. That rests with me.
But Ontario's long-term care minister repeatedly deflected any blame.
We didn't start the fire.
While there have been decades of neglect, that response isn't good enough, says this advocate.
There hasn't been really, a lot of ability to the ministry to change the sector. And that's going to go forward unless there's a really big change in the way that the government is dealing with this.
The government has promised more hands-on care, but it balks at harsher penalties for homes breaking the rules.
If the government refuses to fine failed nursing home operators, as the Auditor General suggested, then it'll be up to voters to hold this government accountable at the ballot box next June.
Witta tries to hope, but has little faith left in the system.
I need to see action. That's the bottom line.
Until then, he's taking action himself.
Love you, Mom.
Ellen Morrow, CBC News, Toronto.
The death of 13-year-old Emily Villegas last week from COVID-19 made headlines across Canada. And rising case counts among the youngest Canadians has parents obviously worried. But as Christine Birak shows us, while more kids might be getting sick in the third wave, they're not necessarily getting sicker.
With the virus surging in several provinces, more children are becoming infected.
It's just scary to see how many children are being affected by the variants.
In Ontario, scientists say for the first time, 5 public health units found more than 10% of people tested had the virus. That's considered high. But in children aged 3 to 18, the numbers were even higher.
There's a lot of COVID that's kind of lurking beneath the surface that we're not even aware of.
During this pandemic, 955 Canadians under 19 have been hospitalized. 8 have died. But with variant cases rising in Nova Scotia, Sharon Beasley worries the virus might now be more dangerous for kids.
I just feel like I'm in a bit of a void, that there's really no information.
When we're seeing increased transmission in the community, we can expect to see more kids and youth with rare complications of COVID-19.
But she adds the risk of death hasn't changed. A British study comparing the effect of the variant first identified in the UK with the original virus found no evidence of more severe disease in children.
Very rarely, children might get a little sicker and might require medical attention. And what I would say to parents is there are 3 particular things I would look out for.
If a child is having difficulty breathing, refusing to eat and drink, or being unusually lethargic or unresponsive, doctors say don't hesitate. Go to your local hospital. As for when kids might be able to get vaccinated,
I expect it's going to be a little while before children make it onto the priority list because, quite frankly, they don't get as sick as adults do.
Based on medical conditions, Alberta is offering vaccine shots to kids aged 12 to 15, but wider use will depend on Health Canada approvals. Scientists in Ontario say they can't see students going back to class in this school year, but they're hoping kids can be vaccinated by September. Christine Birak, CBC News, Toronto.
So let's pick up on some of that with Dr. Jacqueline Wong, an infectious diseases specialist at McMaster Children's Hospital. So Dr. Wong, as Christine mentioned, some kids between 12 and 15 with underlying health conditions could get the Pfizer in Alberta. What do we know about the safety and efficacy of these vaccines in kids?
Yeah, so the information that we have right now is still kind of limited. It's still that press release from Pfizer at the end of March. And so far, the results are promising. It looks like the immune response in children in that age group is comparable to adults they've studied. And from a safety and tolerability perspective, it looks good as well. Kind of similar mild symptoms like achiness, headache, mild malaise, that kind of thing.
And as long as they're unvaccinated and waiting their turn, what should kids and parents keep in mind in the meantime? Can they see their vaccinated family members, for example?
Yeah, social interactions are so important, and we just need to do it safely because there's variability in who's vaccinated and how many shots of the vaccine they've gotten. So with the good weather coming, thankfully, let's try to have as many of those interactions outdoors so that we can be spaced apart, so that we can get good ventilation. And if you're in a scenario where you can't keep that distance all the time, remembering to wear your mask, hand sanitizing, hand washing, kind of the same principles that we've known all along.
Okay. Dr. Wong, thank you as always.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you for having me.
Police in Ontario say 2 people are in life-threatening condition after a shooting east of Toronto this afternoon.
It doesn't appear to be a random act. We know that there's approximately 40+ shots fired at this point.
A man and a woman were taken to a trauma center in Toronto after a brazen daylight shooting involving 2 vehicles in Ajax. Police believe at least 1 person left the scene on foot. No one's been arrested. No suspect information has been released. Let's turn to a CBC News exclusive. A retired military couple is speaking out. They say they feel betrayed by the institution they served after senior leaders wrote letters to support a soldier convicted of sexual assault. Ashley Burke has their story.
Is the village that we were in right before we got attacked.
This is Kevin Shamoon in Afghanistan. He's witnessed the war, blood, and misery of Kandahar, but says the most troubling betrayal came from his own chain of command on Canadian soil.
It was an extremely painful betrayal. This offender violated my wife in my home and then was supported by senior levels of the chain of command.
Kevin and Annalise Shamoon said they're sharing their story for the first time to drive change. Annalise had retired from the forces and was living in Kingston when a longtime friend and soldier sexually assaulted her twice.
In 2013, I woke up one night and someone was in my bedroom. And it was someone that I knew that I had served with in the military. And he got into my bed and tried to have sex with me.
At criminal court in 2017, a justice found the soldier guilty on all counts, but during sentencing said high-level military personnel provided character references that described him as a man of great character and leadership before being engulfed in PTSD, then gave the offender probation rather than jail time.
There's a lot of soldiers who have gone through really horrible experiences and had PTSD and lost their marriages, and they never used it as an excuse to sexually assault anybody.
It's absurd.
It's unbelievable.
The Shamoons say they were blindsided to learn Kevin's regiment wrote a glowing character reference letter.
For me, reading these words, it's beyond unacceptable.
The author of one of the letters, Shamoon superior in his chain of command in the Special Forces, Major General Peter Daw. Shamoon said he confronted him over the phone.
He expressed that he believed that the offender was a good guy and had been through enough.
A year later, the convicted soldier was found guilty of sexual assault again in a separate, unrelated trial, this time sentenced to 3 years in jail. Meanwhile, the military promoted Daw to a top job, commander of the Special Forces.
I believe that.
So, Ashley, what is the military saying in response to your story?
Well, Adrian, in a statement to CBC News, Major General Daw said that he never condoned these serious offenses and that he wrote the letter to provide the court with some context. But that said, I had a responsibility to recognize all persons who were impacted by the events leading to the conviction. And in supporting one, I lost sight of the complete needs of the victim and the victim's spouse, both of whom deserve my support.
Ashley Burke, thank you for all your work on this. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Canadian Grand Prix has been cancelled for the second year in a row. The Formula One race was scheduled for June 13th in Montreal, but will not go forward due to COVID-19 health measures in that city. Organizers, however, announced a contract to hold the race in Montreal has been extended until 2031, 2 years past the current agreement. And the pandemic is also throwing a wrench in Olympic prep. With the Tokyo Games mere months away, Swimming Canada announced today it has to push back trials yet again. They'd originally been planned for April, then to May. They now hope to host the event in mid-June, but they don't yet know where it will be held, even if it will be held in Canada. Japan is pushing ahead with the Summer Games, but only about 1% of its population is vaccinated, and COVID cases are on the rise there. Today, Olympic organizers unveiled the safety playbook for athletes. As Jamie Strachan shows us, it doesn't go far enough for some.
In less than 3 months, thousands of athletes from more than 200 countries will arrive in Japan.
We also want to make sure that the participants themselves are safe and they take it upon themselves to guarantee their own safety as well as the safety of others.
In new guidelines released today, the IOC says athletes will need 2 negative COVID tests 96 hours before arrival and will be tested daily during the games, a good start for some.
And you will be more readily and more rapidly able to remove those individuals from other people.
But some athlete advocacy groups say the IOC must do much more, like giving athletes their own rooms and providing better safety equipment.
Athletes are not going to be provided medical grade masks when they attend. They have to bring their own. And I find that quite ironic because if you go to an Olympic Games, there's condoms throughout all the village for the athlete's safety and safe sex. But yet when we have a pandemic, they don't provide masks for the athletes.
The IOC won't mandate vaccinations for athletes, but Australia this week said they would give all their athletes the shot before going.
Obviously a great relief for the athletes, the coaches and all the support staff, and also for their families.
We can talk about the morals and the ethics about vaccinating professional athletes for international competition, but there are vaccines and they do work and they would create a safer environment.
Olympic officials in Canada say athletes here won't jump the queue. If vaccinations go as planned, most will have at least one shot before the games begin. Even beyond vaccines, advocates say more needs to be done.
I would expect the Canadian Olympic Committee to come out strong and really demand more robust protocols to protect their athletes.
The IOC will present its final set of rules in June, just weeks before the games are set to begin. Jamie Strachan, CBC News, Toronto.
The IOC is facing growing criticism around the Olympics. Among those with questions and concerns, Olympic champion Hayley Wickenheiser.
There's money, there's power, there's politics, and a lot of ego involved.
The four-time gold medalist turned med student has seen COVID up close and is now expressing doubts about the games. And as he approaches 100 days in office, Joe Biden makes his sales pitch to the American people.
Tonight, I come to talk about crisis and opportunity.
Plus,
no one told you life was gonna be this way.
One BC woman opens Central Perk right on her front lawn. Welcome back. As the United States begins to emerge from its COVID crisis, tonight President Joe Biden is laying out his plan for America's future.
After just 100 days, I can report to the nation, America is on the move again.
On the eve of that 100th day in office, tonight he is giving his first joint address to Congress. It's one part reflection and one part big plan for what comes next. Katie Simpson is at Capitol Hill tonight. So Katie, obviously this is a presidential tradition, but clearly unlike any other.
There are some historic firsts here tonight, Adrian. To begin, look around. Everything looks very different. Only 200 people are allowed inside, and that's because of COVID restrictions. For the very first time, 2 women are behind the president, Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Vice President Kamala Harris. And the speech itself, it's sounding very different. President Joe Biden is trying to sell lawmakers and voters on his plan to fundamentally change the way the government serves its people.
Joe Biden is outlining a plan that aims to define his presidency, proposing legislation that will dramatically expand government services and benefits, drawing comparisons to social programs in Canada and Europe. It includes a universal child care program, investments in education, and paid leave for new parents. To cover the cost, Biden says he'll raise taxes on the rich.
These are things the American people need, they want, they deserve. Now's the time to be bold.
Biden's proposal is part of a larger strategy to grow the pandemic-battered economy by helping the middle class and lifting millions of American families out of poverty. Republicans say this is an overreach. It's too ambitious and too expensive, and for a president who campaigned on unity, it's too divisive.
Over a few short months, the Biden administration seems to have given up on selling actual unity in favor of catnip for their liberal base.
Getting this passed through Congress, it's going to be an uphill battle. And what we're hearing from President Biden, that, these policies, they generally poll very well. They're generally liked. But traditionally, Americans do not really favor having a big role of government involved in their daily lives. Just think about past presidents who've prided themselves on tax cuts and small government. Think Ronald Reagan, think Donald Trump. Now, the U.S. is starting to round the corner on its fight against COVID, so President Biden will have more time to try and implement this agenda. Adrienne.
All right, Katie, thank you. Katie Simpson at Capitol Hill tonight. Back in Canada, an Ottawa man is speaking out after experiencing what he says was repeated discrimination at a local bank. As Nicole Williams shows us, he's far from alone in his experience.
Keshna Spalding says every time he walks into a TD branch in Ottawa's East End, it's an uphill battle.
Very, very, very frustrated. Sleepless nights, and I'm not candy-coating it.
He works in painting and construction and often gets paid with checks, which the bank insists on placing on hold regardless of the amount. He says tellers often ask pointed questions and calls the experience degrading.
Ooh, yeah, it is tough because it brings me back to some ugly memories, and what I'm experiencing here is nothing than racism.
Spalding isn't alone.
I absolutely hate going into banks. I get tense, I get a knot in my stomach.
These Toronto area business owners have seen tellers cite bank policies to explain their actions, like holding checks, even when those policies are discretionary.
Make sure that my outcome and my experience is not a lottery draw.
Experts say there needs to be a way to hold financial institutions accountable so that customers can deal with unfair treatment.
Without any kind of scrutiny of acts of racism and discrimination that is happening in these banks, then people are left to their own devices.
They can say, well, these are the policies that we've put in place. We're the ones who are affected negatively by these policies, and that's why there needs to be systemic changes.
TD has now apologized to Spalding after he recently filed a complaint. In a statement to CBC, the bank says when an individual has the courage to speak out, we have a responsibility to listen and take appropriate action. As a first step, workers at the branch must complete training in conscious and unconscious bias. But Spalding says even after the apology, he's had a number of bad experiences. Nicole Williams, CBC News, Ottawa.
Hayley Wickenheiser, you are used to seeing her in a Team Canada uniform. Now she's wearing scrubs.
And my whole year in medicine has been consumed with a lot of anxiety.
After being on the front lines, she fears for athletes headed to the Olympics.
I'm not sure if the games can be safely held at this point.
Why she thinks the IOC is forging ahead. Next. Welcome back. As ICUs fill up in many parts of the country, health officials keep calling on everyone to help. Well, more help is indeed on the way. Hundreds of influencers are mobilizing to try to get Canadians vaccinated. It is a campaign called This Is Our Shot. And this Team Canada has a familiar captain.
Oh, yeah, that one's mine. Thanks very much. Okay.
Leading the way again is Hayley Wickenheiser.
It is. Okay.
Med student.
Ready to go do rounds?
Mom. Development leader with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Former Winter and Summer Olympian. And a woman who doesn't phone anything in. When the pandemic started, she launched a campaign called Conquer COVID, wrangling people like friend actor Ryan Reynolds.
We need PPE, seriously.
To help secure PPE for frontline workers.
We're giving you Moderna, okay?
Now a new campaign called This Is Our Shot.
The majority of our immunizers are volunteers.
Yeah.
Encouraging Canadians to step up and get vaccinated.
This is Moderna, okay. Yeah.
To do away with hesitancy and pushing politicians to speed up distribution, to treat this as the emergency it is.
And you just finished nursing school.
I did, yes.
Far from not having time to do this, she'll tell you she doesn't have the time to not do it.
It's a mini Olympic medal.
The clock is ticking and she's worried, not just for Canadians, but for the Olympic movement she loves, the one supposed to bring the world together in just months.
Hey, Hayley, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Hayley Wickenheiser and I took a moment to chat between her shifts at the hospital.
So it's good you're wearing that, because I was like, is it going to be your medical scrubs? Is it going to be your hockey jersey? Maybe an Olympic jersey? I don't know if you have a superhero cape in that closet behind you, but this is our shot. This is your new thing, right?
Yeah, this is the sort of the new campaign on the 28th that we are going to kick off. So yeah, it's I think we have over 200 influencers now.
So what are you going to be able to do? I can understand we need PPE, and then Hayley goes into action mode, and you rally people for PPE, but this is different.
I think the whole aim of This Is Our Shot is that here we are, 200 plus influencers, from artists to athletes to, influencers in the ethnic communities across this country, saying, we're just average people like you, and we believe in this. We got our shot. We encourage you to, as well as, hey, the political machines out there, let's get going. And I think people are tired of listening to politicians. They're, the message is drowned out. They're overall fatigued about COVID in general. So it's just another way to maybe inspire and help everybody through it. Ultimately, I worry about the health, the mental well-being, the health of our country in another pandemic after this one is over. It's just as quickly as possible, in whatever way is possible, 24 hours a day if we need to.
5:09 a.m.
No stranger to the 24-hour grind. She's finishing med school this week.
10. Ready to go do rounds?
Over the last year, she's been in different cities across different specialties, concocting the kind of pandemic perspective only a med student might have.
When you said that you were worried about a pandemic after the pandemic, what were you talking about?
Opioid crisis, obesity, diabetes on the rise, mental health fallout from isolation, and people losing everything in terms of their jobs and their livelihoods, families falling apart, domestic violence, all of the things that have come to light in the pandemic that people have had to face and go through.
I know you're not afraid of much. I've seen you in action, but I do wonder if you're a changed person a little bit, because I think the last year has taught all of us stuff about ourselves that maybe we didn't know before.
My whole year, I live right next door to my mom and dad, and my whole year in medicine has been consumed with a lot of anxiety of, please don't bring something home and kill my parents. And so, this has been on my mind. It's heavy, and a lot of people have felt like that.
Did you develop any anxiety at all?
No, I think I'm pretty well able, because of my life as an athlete, to cope with high stress, high anxiety, and high pressure. And that's what's probably saved me through this whole thing. but just acute awareness. My son has suffered from a lot of anxiety this year. Imagine living with your mom who's tramping all across the country in hospitals and coming home every day and not sure if you're going to get COVID or not. And then he's worried about giving it to grandma and grandpa.
Trampling all over the country, as she puts it, because of that whole other huge endeavor, the job developing players for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I go to the rink in the morning, and 2 COVID tests later, if you're negative, you're into the bubble and on the ice with the players of that day. And then I managed it by usually working on my electives in emergency medicine by night. So that's kind of how I've been able to do both.
And how do they treat you?
Incredible. It's a great, I spent most of my life trying to, make it and kind of be the girl in the male dominated world. And I don't feel like I have to do that here. Players today in the NHL, they just want to know, can you make me better? Can you help me? And if you can, they don't care who you are, because that was one of the things that I loved most about being an athlete, was just trying to find that 1% every day to get better. And
turns it over, Wickenheiser, breakaway, shoots, scores!
Not since Sochi in 2014 has Hayley Wickenheiser competed for Canada at an Olympics. She's not left the movement behind. An elected member of the IOC Athletes Commission, she was one of the first to openly call for the Olympics to be delayed last summer.
Are you still at the table with the IOC?
My tenure ends in 2022 after the Beijing Olympics. I don't know if I'm a black sheep in their family or not, but I don't really care. My job is to do what's right for the athletes of the world, and to, in this pandemic, it's been to advocate for the safety of athletes and for what's right. So don't get me wrong, I would love to see the games happen. It would be a great sort of message of hope for the world, but I think we have to always remember what we're in the middle of right now. I'm watching carefully with the numbers in Japan. I think 1.8% of the population only has been vaccinated. That worries me. We are not in control yet in this country. That worries me. There's other countries in the world not in control. I'm not sure if the games can be safely held at this point. And, I think if our Canadian athletes go to the Olympics, they should be fully vaccinated and have had time to, sort of build antibodies and get their immunity up to go safely. It's the least that our country can do to send these athletes to the games if they're going to happen. And it's a few hundred vaccines. So
I suppose this is the IOC's decision, or is it Japan's decision?
In the end, this probably will have to be a Japanese government decision, which will supersede anything the IOC wants to do. I think the IOC wants to go ahead with the games no matter what. And, part of me wants to trust that plan is a good one, but part of me has also seen what's happened since the start of the pandemic, and I question some of the motives. There's money, there's power, there's politics, and the Summer Olympics encompass all of those much more than the Winter Olympics do, and a lot of ego involved. And so we just better make sure that the decision in the end is the right one.
Hi guys. Hello. How's it going?
She'll keep pushing for accountability from the IOC, but her key focus right now, vaccinations, leveraging her influence here at home. This country's unofficial captain, Hayley Wickenheiser, doing more than her part to keep her Canada safe.
And so Hayley Wickenheiser officially becomes Dr. Hayley Wickenheiser in 2 days. She starts her residency on Canada Day. The Olympics are supposed to start a few weeks later. And what about the Special Olympics?
It's been really hard during COVID.
COVID may have canceled events, but the athletes are persevering. Next. Welcome back. The pandemic has put so many people's dreams on hold, including those of the Special Olympic athletes whose games have been canceled until at least 2022. Tonight, we want to introduce you to some of the Canadian competitors to hear how they're coping and how they're planning for a big comeback.
Hi, my name is Darby Taylor. I'm 26 years old and I'm a Special Olympics athlete. I play floor hockey, bocce ball, and curling. Yay!
My name is Ding, and I'm 17. And I play badminton, swimming, basketball, yeah.
My name is Alexander Contree-Bauer. I am 39 years old. I am a Special Olympian. I play soccer, basketball, floor hockey, snowshoeing, track and field, softball, bocce ball.
When COVID first canceled everything, I was very upset because it canceled all of my sports and my training. Almost.
When everything canceled, I feel nervous, shy, like that.
Feel bad why I can't compete with my friends, teammates, and training every day.
What I miss the most is competing.
I can tell she really misses it. She'll always talk about her best friend and yeah, all her photos she has in her room.
I miss snowshoeing and being with people like my friends, my teammates.
Special Olympics has brought so much into Darby's life, into the whole family's life really. It's just made his life so full. You know, he's made and kept many friends. He's been able to stay active.
I think the Special Olympics has taught her the importance of exercise and building good habits and setting goals. And it's given her like a new community to bond with.
The Special Olympics has got Alexander out of his shell. He used to have really bad balance issues. His balance is better because he competes. He seems really happy and he likes to win. Special Olympics is awesome. They've done a lot. I'm very thankful for them.
This past year, I've been going on my exercise by doing lots of workouts and making sure that I'm eating healthier and drinking more water.
I did and go on a treadmill, sewing and crunching because I make good people happy. I give them extra birthday present.
I do online stuff with Special Olympics to keep in shape. It's real different, but it's better than nothing.
I want people to know that we can compete just like typical athlete, and also that it's been really hard during COVID and things too.
Special Olympics athlete, Spring King.
Wow, your name, right? Yeah. Sometimes she watches all these videos from past tournaments and events, and she like shows me and our entire family and cheers. Look, that's you. Yeah, she really misses it. Yeah.
When COVID done, I can't wait until competing again. I want people to know I never give up. I am confident in myself and I don't give up.
No giving up. Targeted vaccinations mean some places have reached herd immunity.
It's a more positive kind of vibe that because so many people have had the vaccination now.
Mass vaccinations and the relief that has brought to some Canadian communities. Plus, and recreating an iconic show in the comfort of your own lawn? Stay with us. Welcome back. Alberta is lowering the eligibility age for vaccines in two hard-hit regions, Banff and the regional municipality of Wood Buffalo, which includes Fort McMurray. It is also planning to send more in. All of Alberta's allocations of Johnson & Johnson's vaccine will go to those two areas. The first shipment of the single-dose shot just arrived in Canada today. It will be available to anyone 30 and older, as will the AstraZeneca shot and Moderna in adjacent Indigenous communities. Now, in BC, health officials have embraced the idea of vaccinating so-called hotspots, and the province is starting to see some results, particularly among some of its most vulnerable residents. Briar Stewart has the good news story.
In Prince Rupert, there's been a collective sigh of relief. Sure, a long stretch of sunny weather lightened the mood, but so did the plummeting number of COVID cases.
It's a more positive kind of vibe that because so many people have had the vaccination now, you feel a little bit, like you're taking steps forward instead of backwards.
Rob Gruber got his first dose of the vaccine last month, along with 85% of adults who live in this northern coastal city.
Bit of a pull.
Prince Rupert was the site of a mass vaccination clinic because it was a COVID hotspot. Cases began surging in February, topping more than 100 a week for most of March. But recently there's been a dramatic decline. Officials say the high uptake of vaccines is partially responsible for the big drop, along with residents following health protocols.
We're not letting up. We're not taking our foot off the gas pedal. We know that we're not going to reach maximum efficiency of the vaccine until after our second dose, after a couple of weeks. So we are still subject to all of the same provincial restrictions.
Where do we stand? Targeting hotspots has been a big part of BC's vaccination strategy. Right now, there are clinics underway in Fraser Health for anyone over the age of 30.
The fact that vaccines really look like it's really good at preventing infection means that we can use them to prevent transmission by vaccinating people with high contact and high risk.
And that includes those on Vancouver's downtown east side. Cases were steady there throughout the fall, but after a vaccination drive that included teams going building to building, even setting up on street corners, about 10,000 got their shot.
2 weeks following that intervention, we saw case rates plummet, and for the last 5 weeks, we've seen that plummeted rate sustain.
Which is good news and reassuring for all communities as more and more people get vaccinated. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Vancouver.
Good news is good. A Vancouver resident has recreated an iconic television set on her lawn.
Smelly cat, what are they for you?
Okay, so it's become a place for her to check in on her neighbors and make new friends. Know what I mean? Next. So, Rachel, Chandler, Ross, and Anne? This is Vancouver's Anne Bruin, and she has recreated the iconic Friends Cafe on her lawn. And she will always be there for you because Bruin says she created it for people in her area to connect during these difficult pandemic times, and she's our moment.
What are they for you? Oh, I'm a pretty big Friends fan. I could watch Friends till the cows come home. I searched for a big coffee table with the right kind of legs, and then my husband put on this border and then painted it green. And he said, do I have to put the angle irons on? And I'm like, yeah, you do. Yep, yeah, you do. I just wanted to connect with people or give them something to look at when they're stuck in this traffic gets really backed up here. So just something to look at, snap you out of whatever funk you're in. Just a little tap on the shoulder, like, it's gonna be okay. I'm just gonna sit here, and whoever happens to stop by for a chat, I'm available. Like, if I see you wave at me, I will definitely wave back.
And I know what you're thinking. How can people sit on that couch? She has measured it. It's far enough apart. It is safe, and she's waiting. That is the National for April 28th. Good night.